It is Friday, April 22nd of 2022, and we're going to finish up with the bizarre USFL weekend that this was, past tense, today on Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive for this beautiful Friday. It's a little chilly. It's like low mid 50s, but I'll take it for this beautiful April morning. The sun is out. I'm doing a Guy's Daily Drive and I'm going to work. Okay, you know what? 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as the song goes. So, I was talking about last weekend that when I was in Birmingham, Alabama, for all of the USFL games, or most of the USFL games, because the weather was not particularly cooperative for most of the weekend. There were thunderstorms, I think, pretty much every day that I was there, and not so much Friday. It was like threatening, but it didn't really do anything. And there was plenty of people at the stadium on Saturday. I don't know where I was going with that. For the opening game, even with the weather being what it was. And then that night, I think I talked about this, there was a thunderstorm that came through that woke me up at like 3 a.m, and it sounded like it was like right outside the door. It was so loud. But the next day, I almost didn't go the next day because the weather was just that bad. And they actually delayed the first game for like an hour and a half, and it had already pretty much started when I left to go to the stadium, and I was able to get parking right away because there was hardly anyone there. But it was Easter Sunday, so I'm sure a lot of people had other things to do than go to a couple of football games. And it was super inexpensive. Kids got in for free, $10 general admission, $25 for reserved seating. And as I said, the play of the various teams, it was lacking in certain aspects of the game. But again, they had just put the teams together 3 weeks before, so the teams, in theory, should be getting better as each game is played. They kind of figure out the things that they're capable of. Coaches will make certain adjustments, things that didn't work, things that did work. So we'll see how things go this weekend. I'm looking forward. Is there a game tonight, I think there's a game tonight, and then one game tomorrow and 2 games on Sunday, something like that. I'll have to check the schedule, but I'm looking forward to see what the play will be like this week as compared to last week. But anyway, so it was postponed long enough that they didn't play the third game. They ended up pushing that to Monday, and that was Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. And I wasn't going to stay a whole nother day to watch a game that Monday night and then try to get home on Tuesday, because that would have been a disaster. So instead, I got up at a reasonable time on Monday morning and didn't bother with the hotel breakfast. The hotel was okay. It was just a Days Inn. And those are what they are. You know, it's a relatively inexpensive room, and the amenities are what they are. I would stay there again, though if I ever go back down there for something like this again, I would do things much differently, and I'll see if I have time to talk about that later. But I got up on Monday morning and I started my drive about 8:30 in the morning. I didn't stay for breakfast at the hotel because it was the usual, hotel fare. Their free breakfast is usually not that great, even if it's, it varies. Typically it's going to be, for the inexpensive hotels, it's going to be, they'll have like a waffle maker and some cereal, some yogurt, maybe some hard-boiled eggs, and toast, bagels, things like that. Your typical nothing breakfast. Some of the upscale places will have eggs, and it's usually reconstituted eggs. Just add water and then reheat, which is usually not great. Some kind of meat product of various quality, and a starch, so potatoes or hash browns or, I don't know, something along those lines. And that's what this hotel had. That's what the Days Inn had. So I'll give them credit for that. But none of it looked particularly appealing. And not because that, it didn't, it's not that it looked bad. It's just the day before I'd gone to an IHOP and had a pretty good breakfast there. And then the day before that, on Saturday morning, I went to this local place called, I can't even remember what it was called now, but it was really good, like the best French toast I'd ever had. It was delicious. So if I wasn't really in the mood for reconstituted eggs and, warmed over potatoes and some kind of meat product that was there at the hotel, you can't really blame me. And I hadn't had, oddly enough, I love grits, but I hadn't had any grits on this entire trip, because I didn't really get breakfast on the drive down, and it never worked out that I'd had any grits. So I was having a hankering. I was having a hankering for some grits. So I was determined I was going to go to Cracker Barrel, stop at a Cracker Barrel for breakfast. And then I got on the road. And I did. I went to a Cracker Barrel. Sorry, I have to take that back. I didn't go to a Cracker Barrel. I don't remember what I had for breakfast on Monday morning. But the whole drive, I wanted to push it pretty far. I wanted to see how far I could get on Monday, unlike my drive down, because I didn't want to spend all day in the car on Tuesday. Plus, I had to return the rental before 4 o'clock. So I drove and drove and drove and drove and drove. And I got into Virginia, and the plan was to stay at a decent hotel, not like a Hampton Inn that cost me $160 and done, but something that wasn't like just a flea bag. And I wanted there to be a Cracker Barrel there at the exit, so that I didn't have far to go before I got the breakfast that I wanted. Well, I couldn't find a place that was far enough along that had both of those added. And eventually I was coming up near Blacksburg, Virginia, and I happened to see that the next exit was the same exit that had the hotel that Tracy and I had stayed at when we got Kismet 6 years ago. And I just posted some stuff about getting Kismet on the Book of Faces. And it was like, is that the exit? Is that it? And it has this, like, some kind of blah, blah, blah lake name, name of the body of water that Guy Jr. had done one of his crew meets at, or the crew meet that we had gone there to see. when we got Kismet. And that was the exit. And there was the hotel, the Sleep Inn, right there at that exit. So I figured, okay, there's no Cracker Barrel here. But it's not like I'm not going to run into a Cracker Barrel the next day. So I went ahead and got off the exit, checked into the hotel. The lady at the counter was one of the same ladies that Tracy and I had dealt with when we were trying to figure out what to do with Kismet when we went the next day to the crew event, because we had to check out of the hotel and we didn't want to leave Kismet in the car that entire time. So they were nice enough back then to go ahead and let us put her in one of their little conference rooms with her litter box and her food and all that stuff until the event was over, and then we would come back and pick her up on our way home, which we did. But this woman was there that 6 years ago or so when that had happened. And I showed her pictures of Kismet the way she looks now, and she oohed and awed at all the right places, and actually gave me a discount for the room, a pretty sizable discount for the room, just because we had taken this poor abandoned cat with us back home. And I just thought that was a little bit of serendipity, you know. It was I mean, I'm not even really sure how to describe it. Good deeds typically will lead to good outlets or good outcomes. And in the case of Kismet in this hotel and this wonderful woman that worked there, that's pretty much how everything worked out. Good outcomes from good deeds. They took care of Kismet. That led to us being there, to us taking Kismet, giving her a good home, which in turn led to a nice conversation and a discounted hotel room. So I got up the next day, and hotel breakfast again was like not all that enticing. So I went ahead and left and drove until I hit an exit with a Cracker Barrel, and ate at the Cracker Barrel and had my grits. Finally got home. It was relatively early. It was before 2 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock, 1:30 when I finally got home, which gave me plenty of time to unload the car and take care of a couple of things before Tracy got back. She was out having lunch with one of our neighbors, and then I took the car back, and that's pretty much the end of the story. Everything went relatively well. If I do it again, I will do things differently. I think because of how much it cost me to fill the car up with gas. I had to fill the car up with gas 5 times on this trip, maybe 6 times, and each time it cost me about $80 to fill this car with gas. So I probably would have been, actually I definitely would have been much better off just going ahead and flying down and then renting the car locally. So if I do this again, that's definitely what I'm going to do. And I have another tentative trip planned at the end of this month, maybe. It's going to depend on a lot of things, but I'm not going to go into that right now because I'm almost to work. So I got to wrap this up. Thank you all so very much for joining me today here on Guy's Daily Drive. If you want to get a hold of me, it's so easy. Just send me send me an email, guy@mymac.com, or podcast at vertshark.com. Vertshark.com is the website you can go to see all the odds and all of the vids. You can also find the vids at YouTube. Just look up Vert Shark, that's the channel name. And like, share, subscribe. Did you see it the first time? Like, share, subscribe. So easy. It's all you got to do. It's fun. It's easy, and you'll be astounded and amazed at everything that you will learn. If you want to help contribute to Guy's Daily Drive and all the other things that I do, go to PayPal, paypal.me/MacParrot. Become a Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot, or buy me a coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. I really, really would appreciate it. And again, I think that is going to do it. Oh, there's the social medias, of course. Almost forgot. Over on Twitter, it's Vert Shark and Mac Parrot. Of course, over on the Book of Faces, it's me, and Vert Shark is over there as well. And what else? I think that's it. Thank you again for watching Guy's Daily Drive. I really appreciate it. And I will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.